Her story begins in the warmth of Hermosillo and grows in the cultural heartbeat of Guanajuato. From childhood, Kiela Caudillo lived in a world filled with music, color, and tradition. At just 7 years old, she stepped onto her first stage, discovering a voice that would guide her entire life. By 15, she was performing professionally. By 20, she became one of Mexico's rising musical talents, recording 3 albums and touring across the country with her band. From festivals to theaters, from border towns to cultural capitals, she carried her voice to audiences everywhere. And even when motherhood arrived, she never stepped away from her art. She continued performing on stage while raising her son Leonardo, balancing rehearsals, travel, and the responsibilities of a young mother with remarkable strength. Behind the music, she pursued science with equal passion, conducting laboratory research and earning degrees in agricultural engineering, biological sciences, and plant sciences. In 2012, she began a new chapter in Canada. Saskatoon became her home and soon her new platform. She continued her scientific journey at the University of Saskatchewan while rebuilding her artistic identity through murals, mixed media, paper mache, and community art. Alongside her work, she volunteered tirelessly, supporting cultural programs, community events, and initiatives that uplift Saskatoon's multicultural families. Today, Kiela Caudillo stands as an artist, a scientist, an educator, and a leader in equity, diversity, inclusion, and reconciliation. A voice for the Latino community, a bridge between cultures, a woman who carries Mexico in her heart and shares it with the world. This is not just a biography. This is a journey of music, migration, motherhood, and unstoppable resilience. This is Kiela Caudillo.
It is my honor to welcome Kiela Caudillo. How are you doing today, Kiela?
Very good. Thank you very much for inviting me, Tahsen. The honor is mine. I know that we've been talking about having this conversation probably a little bit over a year. So finally, thank you for your patience, and it's an honor for me to be here.
No, it's like here everybody is busy, so we need to make some room for that kind of work.
Well, thank you for making the excuse, but
no, it's fine.
But it's
totally fine.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So we can start today. So I know you from like the Saskatoon Folk Fest. So over there I seen like so very active, energetic volunteer. Not only that, you were a singer, you were a scientist, and then like you have a lot of background. So today we're gonna talk about a little bit about you. So who are you? So the first thing first, I want to know about your early life and then childhood.
Mm-hmm. Well, long time ago to begin with. I'm originally from Mexico, and I was born in a city close to the north of Mexico, very close to the border to the United States. That's where my mother's side or family is from. But I grew up in the center of Mexico, so I have kind of a mix of these two different regions in Mexico. The food is different, like every country. You have a large country, and then you have in these different regions different ways to see life, different ways to talk, different food, different music. So my childhood was kind of a mix of both. So since I was very little, I have a weird accent because my friends in the center of Mexico were saying like I was talking very different, my speaking was different, but because I had the accent from the north of Mexico. So I was always kind of the weird or different child.
I'm just curious about your name. Is that a Mexican name?
That's a good question. My dad, I have 4 sisters, so we are 5 daughters at home. So we all have different, I wouldn't say different, it's just not very common names for Mexicans. Because my dad, he likes to read a lot. Mm-hmm. We actually, back in the day when internet was not around, we were the only family in the block that we have assigned room as a library. And my dad was buying books and encyclopedias and dictionaries, everything, like the newest one. My dad was making a huge effort to buy a new book almost every month. and he was reading a lot. So all my sisters have like names from like a different things my dad read. So Kiela, my dad says that he saw this name in a book about tales in Germany, something like that. I have been searching, and I think it has different meanings. As of today, I still don't know what is the meaning, but Kiela is my first name. My middle name is Briseida. Briseida is from Greek mythology. And I have a sister that is, her name is Olympia, like the Olympians, also from the Greek mythology. One of my little sister is Blumenwatia. I think we have similar words here. I think that's also German. I'm not quite sure. And yeah, the other two, the first two sisters, the oldest ones, they have more like a normal names for Mexicans. One is Dora Jessica, and the other is Manuela de Yanira. The Yanira is also Greek mythology. So, but that's because, that's what my dad loved to do. So yeah,
I found it quite like interesting.
Different. Yeah.
No, everything is in your pocket. I mean, you got everything from the experience. So this is kind of multiculturalism.
Yes.
So in that sense, this is totally perfect. When we move somewhere else, then we learn new things. But with us, we are carrying our experience, our culture, and everything. So it's good. It's good you have that.
Yeah.
I think. So as far as I know, like you start singing as a performer. You perform when you were only 7 years old.
Yes.
So could you please tell us about that journey of when you started the singing?
Mm-hmm.
Like 7 is like very early age.
It is, but I have seen kids that started even earlier. Well, for me, let me just say something. I'm an introvert. So you don't believe it. Maybe people might not even know about that because I've been on stage since I was very little. But when I was very, 7 years old, I was very shy. I was not participating in the classroom at all. I was doing my homework and just focusing on my homework, but not interacting much. However, one day, one of the neighbors, she was a teacher in an elementary school, different from the one that I was going. And she knew that, I was always singing and dancing at home. And then she came to my mom and she said, we would like to invite Kiela for a festival in my school because we don't have kids right now ready to perform. And when I heard that, I don't know, something clicked inside me like, yes, I want to do it. My mom thought that I was saying no because, I was a very shy girl. And I say yes. So we start practicing. My very first performance was when I was 7 years old, and I have a picture about that.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna see that.
Yes, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed every step. I remember that we were practicing every afternoon after school, and I have to get an outfit and the song, and it was a dance. It was a dancing only, and when I was performing for the very, very first time on that little stage in the middle of the elementary school, just by myself, something happened. I knew that that was something that I wanted to keep doing it. It was just, I don't know. I don't even know how to express, but it has been one of the best decisions that I have made in my life, I guess. Because as I say, I was very shy, but I did it and worked out, I think, because they invited me again for the next year. And then in my own elementary school, they started inviting me, and I don't know, there was no internet that time, but everyone knew that I was singing and dancing everywhere, so I was getting invited every year in the festivals. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can say something about the Mexico because I know that here some people, and even I have one friend in I was in Toronto that time. I had very good friend, like she was a model. So I know a little bit about the Mexico. They are very festival oriented. They are very charming. Mm-hmm. They like sing song. They perform dancing, and then it is really really fantastic festival oriented culture in Mexico. So you are from there. So obviously, Saskatoon is really lucky. I think we have that. So other thing is I want to know as a becoming a professional singer, you started group like when you were only 15 years old.
15, yes.
Like, could you tell us about that time, like how you become the professional singer?
Yes. Well, I always say actually that story like I became a professional singer when I was 15, but in reality I was singing since I was 7. But I say it was when I was 15 because it was the first time I was getting paid for it. So before it was just for fun. And then when I was 15, I started joining different local bands. As you said, in Mexico, we like to party. So it is very common that a lot of people have this additional career in music as a side job. So every weekend I was singing in different parties, in different places. So it was really funny because one of my older sisters, she has a beautiful voice, and then she found this advertisement in the newspaper. They were looking for a vocalist, and then my sister said, "I'm gonna go and try." And I say, "I want to come with you." So when we got to the place for the audition, my sister sang, and they like it. And then I say, "Oh, can I sing a song too?" And then I sang, and then they chose me.
Wow.
So it was unintentional, but again, another thing that I really enjoy, and I didn't know that I was able to do singing on a microphone, which it's completely different than just singing a cappella. And then when you're in a big band and they start singing, it sounds completely different. So that was really funny and the way that it happens. But since then, I've been singing and joining different bands and different things.
And after that, you have 3 albums, I know.
Yes, well, yeah, from my 15, when I was 15 years old until I was 20, I was switching different bands and trying different genre. I was also singing with a mariachi and even in a restaurant, so different type of settings. But when I turned 20, I was, recording jingles, and then a producer saw me, and then he says, "I have a project, so would you like to be part of it?" And then is when I started recording and creating this album. So I had the fortune to record 3 albums, and between 2022 is when I started recording until 2002 to about 2004.
Okay.
I recorded 3 albums in Mexico, mostly different genre, but everything very rhythmic, from cumbia, balada, mariachi. That was the very first one, the mariachi. And then the last album, that was another new genre in Mexico called Duranguense, and that was a exceptional journey, that last CD that we produced, because it was kind of the first time I felt like, I'm actually becoming a true singer and popular, and people sing my songs, and people invite me to the big festival. So that was a beautiful, beautiful journey, that last CD.
That was like, you feel something different than other, like when you perform on stage in front of the audience, so then audience are like singing with you.
Yeah.
That one's totally, I think it's different one, right?
Yes.
So.
It's amazing, and you probably have heard this, and then many people have heard about that. These performers, that as soon as they come to the stage, they turn into a completely different person.
Exactly.
And I always felt like that, it's like, okay, I'm the introvert here behind the scenes, and then as soon as I jump into the stage, I was jumping, singing, dancing, even telling jokes and everything. And there was a point, as I mentioned, like I was getting popular in the region, and going into these big festivals and hearing people singing my song. So that was amazing. It was some of the best experiences that I ever had with an audience that responds to you, because as a performer, this is what you want. You want to engage. You want to be part of their lives too, because they are an important part of your life when they are just taking the time, paying the ticket to come and see you, and see that reciprocity is amazing. It's amazing.
So this is like, as an artist, is your career. It's totally different. But you are not only an artist. You are a scientist. You have quite few different degrees. Not only one. When I read it, like I was so surprised. You have agricultural engineering, biological science, and plant science.
Yes.
So you love nature. I believe.
Yes. Let's say yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
could you please tell us about your like educational background?
Yeah. I always say that I'm a non-multitasking but multi-entrepreneur, multidisciplinary artist. I'm a scientist, as you say. I'm also an academic. I always loved sciences in general. I wanted to be a medical doctor, but I didn't have the grades to apply. But I always loved sciences, biological sciences, and that was something that I learned from my family. My parents and my mom, since my sisters and I were very, very little, they always said, you can do whatever you want in life as long as you complete a degree. Any type of degree. You can be a doctor, you can be a lawyer, you can be an agronomist, which I am, or you can be, I don't know, a technician only, or whatever. But they wanted us to complete some certificate, diploma, bachelor, whatever, because they were convinced, we are talking about Mexican culture and also from the 70s, and they were very sure that if you have a degree, you will succeed in life. And then in addition to that, you can party and sing and do whatever else. So I grew up with that idea. However, I always wanted to be a singer since I was 7 years old. I thought like, no, I'm gonna be a singer, but my mom and dad wants to see a degree, so let's study something. And close to my home, there was this university, and I studied a bachelor in agricultural engineering. And then as soon as I finished, I say, I'm done. I'm gonna be a singer. So I try. Actually, that's when it matches that I finished my bachelor degree in 2002. It is when I actually more formally decided to go into the music industry. But I never really stopped whether working or studying. So after my son was born in 2004, I decided, okay, I need to keep working. So I started working as an agronomist. I was working for a laboratory in Mexico. And then I also decided, okay, now it's time to get another degree. So I completed a master's degree as well. And then later on, a second master's degree. That's another story. It's like this part of the world story. But I always believe you have to have some kind of education. And that worked for me. I'm very proud to have completed and keep moving forward into that direction of my career. And when I was younger, I never thought that I actually could do both things at the same time. I thought you have to decide one or another. And honestly, I was able to do both into the level that it was allowed to me in that moment, the opportunities that came to me. But it worked, and it's something that I would recommend all the time. You always have to have plan B, C, D, whatever, because you never know where you're going to be. And thanks to sciences is the reason I'm here in Canada. Because I don't know if as a singer, maybe I will be touring all the world, who knows? But so far, at least, thanks to that career is why I'm here.
So 2002 to 2004, in your life, there's a lot of things happen. Even you become a mother.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So those 3 or 4 years was like really like game-changing time in your whole career.
Yes.
So could you please tell me about your motherhood, because you did music that time. You were in university, you graduated, and then you become mother. So how you manage this multitask things all together?
Yeah.
So I'm curious about that.
Me too, when I think about it. How did I do all of that? I don't know. I think it's just the drive that I always have had. It's I like to take opportunities. I like to be prepared when the opportunities come. So that's why I never stopped doing multiple things at the same time. When my son came, a blessing came to me, and I even realized more things okay, maybe in addition to sing, you keep working. Maybe in addition to work, you keep studying. And I always was able to do all those things together. I wouldn't say that was difficult. I think when you have something in your mind and you're so committed, you find the strength, you find the time, you find the ways to complete it all and do it all. It might sound, when you mention it, it sounds like, oh yeah, how did I do all of that? I don't know, it just happened because that's the drive I have. When I truly believe in something, I do it, I try. with the best of my knowledge and my abilities and capacity, I do it. I just try.
So I just want to say, like, it is the power of woman.
Thank you. I guess so. Yes,
So,
girls, we are powerful.
Yes, it is. It is. Women are powerful than any other energy. So they have that energy inside their mind. So yeah. So I just want to say, like, keep it up. I know you already, like, you already successful person. But why you move in Canada? Like I know, like 2012 you moved in
Yes.
Canada, but you have very successful career in Mexico. So Mexico also like nice country. So why you move in Canada? It's just like a neighbor country. It's not like something like I moved from South Asia to here. So kind of like better life or like better career. But the Mexico is just like the neighbor of Canada. So why you move in Canada?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. Sometimes I question myself too, but this is the truth and this is the reality. So Mexico is still, even though it is classified as a developed country, in many ways it is not. So I was looking for more opportunities. That's one thing. I was looking for better chances for me and my son as well. My musical career, it was coming into a point when I was thinking like, okay, I'm traveling, I'm touring with my son, a little baby. We had this beautiful big bus with a big picture of me and my band. We have bunk beds inside and I have a little room in the back. So I was traveling with my baby and the babysitter everywhere. And I thought, okay, this is awesome for me, but I don't think it's going to be very good in the long term for my son. That was my thought in that moment. I don't know if I will change something now, but that was my thought. And I had my career, so I kept working as well in that lab and thinking like, okay, maybe I can keep looking forward to something better opportunities, better money, better chances again, for my son. Mexico was still in that time a very complicated country in the region that I'm from, and I was thinking maybe it's time to change. It was a very hard decision. It was very, very hard. I have to leave my music. I have to leave my family, everything. We as an immigrant, it sounds very glamorous when you move to a first world country, but the reality is that you left behind so many things that it's so hard to find again. This type of things that we are doing today, it's amazing because we connect with other cultures and hopefully we will connect through this camera with our culture as well. But in the meantime, it's a struggle. It's hard. It is hard. So for me, it was as hard as for everyone else that has immigrated to this beautiful country. Canada is neighbor to Mexico, that's right, but it's very different. And for Mexicans, let me tell you, Canada is, for us, seems to be far, far away and cold, and which is kind of true, but for Mexicans, I would say United States is a neighbor. So yeah, it would make a big, big difference. But coming all the way to Canada for me was a huge, huge difference. So but I mean, I'm very happy to be here, and within these 14 years that I've been in this country, I feel very blessed and very fortunate. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see what comes.
Yeah, so like I want to add with you, like Mexico is very hard, but we are in Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan is like one of the coldest province in Canada. So how did you feel that time when you have your first winter? I don't know about that winter.
You really want to talk about that? You came during the winter or you came in the summer?
I came in after winter, like before the summer, like February, March. So
well, it was cold.
It was cold. It was cold.
Well,
yes.
I landed here. Okay, so I came here in 2012, 6 months during the spring, summer.
Okay.
So I fell in love with the city. Okay. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. I saw everything, the blossoms of every garden, and it was so beautiful. And then when I finally, the idea to come to Canada was because I was applying for another degree. So I came as a student, international student for the University of Saskatchewan when I got my second master's degree. And then, so when I moved finally here with already my letter of acceptance was during the winter of 2012, 2013. So I landed December 10th with my son, with a couple pieces of luggage, and diving into the winter of Saskatoon. It was something. It was really, really challenging. I didn't know that every winter might look a little different. So that year we had a lot of snow. That was when I came. It was like a big piles of snow. I couldn't believe how much snow I was seeing around. When you watch those movies, the Christmas movies, they never show what it really is. So it was a little bit shocking. One day, I remember my son was asking me, let's go to the park to do some tobogganing. And I was always cold, like, no, maybe tomorrow. So one day, we have this beautiful morning, a Sunday morning, sunny, bright, when the snow is so bright that you have to wear sunglasses. Yeah. So I thought, this is a perfect day. Yes. Mm-hmm. So I thought, this is a perfect day, let's go out. So we bought from Dollarama a piece of plastic that we're supposed to wear for the tobogganing. And then we started walking. And it was so deep, it was too high, the snow.
The snow? Mm-hmm.
And that day I learned that you have to check the feeling of the temperature. We never checked that when we left home. Yeah. We were -30 that day. So it was a beautiful sunny day, -30. You know what I'm talking about.
I know, yes.
And then, so we have to come back. We only were walking maybe 100 meters, and then I said, you know what, I don't think it's safe. Let's come back. It was terrible. But anyways, so I fell in love with the city. I think it's a beautiful city to bring your family, and when you're starting a new life as an immigrant, I think Saskatoon is a very welcoming city. I truly believe that.
So, like in Mexico, that time I think you were a superstar, like as a singer. You have you work in a laboratory. Mm-hmm. That means you are researching something.
Yes.
So everything was very good, and then you move in Canada, and then you started your student life again. Mm-hmm. So how was the experience to rebuild your career and everything?
Yes. It was hard, but I knew what I was doing. So I think that helped me a lot. So I knew that I was leaving everything to start over. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes if you take it from the positive way, it's like I have a chance to start over. Why not, right? So I was always trying to keep that view. Many immigrants, let's say, for example, people that comes as a refugee, they don't have that chance. They didn't choose to move out. Mm-hmm. I was very lucky to select the country, the reason, when, how. So in that regard, I think that for me was kind of, I knew what I was doing. So it was challenging, yes, but I did it. It was hard. The first 6 months, I was getting homesick, as everyone would recently moved. Because I moved during the winter, everything was gray around. So it was quite hard. But as I mentioned before, this is part of myself. This is my drive. So I don't give up. I mean, I knew where I was coming from, the reason, the purpose. So I was kept very clear that path. That's the way I work. I keep clarity to where I'm planning to go, and I do everything as possible to get into that point. It was difficult. It was very complicated. My son was at that time, he just turned 8 years, and he didn't speak any English. And I knew every time I was going to the university, leaving my son at the school, I knew that he won't be able to communicate. And that was for 2-3 months until one day he came speaking English. But it was hard. It was hard. It just, I think it's just the way that I think. I just keep clarity of what I want, and I try to do everything that is possible in my hands to keep it.
So when did you get your first job in Canada?
So I came as an international student. I finished my master, and I was immediately hired as a research assistant in the same lab that I was doing my master's degree. Mm-hmm. So I was very fortunate to have that opportunity. Yeah. So I worked for 2 years at the university doing some research in London. And then after 2 years, I switched careers. So I'm not doing science anymore. Yes. Yeah, so I switched careers. An opportunity came within the university to do international student recruitment. So I switched into that, they hired me, and then since then I've been working in international education, student mobility, cultural intelligence, EDI, and so many other areas. Now it's more the academic side that I'm exploring right now.
So yeah, it is a little bit easy, I think, for you. Like you got the first job in university, and then you got the opportunity. You are lucky. Obviously, you are lucky. Now I want to mention another things. You were a singer, you were a scientist, and then you were a very good fighter. After that, you were a real artist.
A real artist, you mean?
Yeah.
After all of that?
Yeah. What do you think?
I never had that question actually. Everyone, when people approach me, they say that I'm an artist, and I say yes, I'm an artist. I don't have formal education in arts. I don't. As I say, I start singing and I kept singing, and then eventually I got enough experience to do it for a longer time and with more difficult songs every time. Then I would start exploring also other media, other art, like sculpting and painting. That was something that I observed a lot when I was little within my family. So those were things that were coming with me. They came with me, but I didn't know until I came here. And I started seeing everything gray and white, and then I thought, okay, let's start doing a little bit of colors here, and then I realized like this is something I feel very comfortable. I would like to keep doing it. But in the formal sense, I don't think I'm an artist. I just feel like I'm just a passionate of color, music, and I try to share something about me through all of that. I feel very, very fortunate to have the different opportunities that have come to my life, like recording, performing in festivals, meeting the right people at the right time to do more stuff. I just feel like okay because I'm ready to share. That's the way I feel. I'm ready to share. What do you want from me? And if I have it in my pocket, as you mentioned, I would say yes. Why not? Yeah. So yeah.
Do you have any exhibition then?
Yes, I do. Well, right now, I don't know when you're gonna be airing this episode, but right now at the exhibition, I have an exhibit with some pieces of my art and the sculpture that I do. I work with paper mache. I like to work with paper.
So you work with mixed media?
Yes, mixed media. Yes, I've been awarded a couple times by SK Arts, also to develop my art, not only the singing but also the other pieces that I do. I offer workshops. I work with the community offering workshops, and again, sometimes I don't feel very comfortable, to be sure, saying like, yeah, I can offer a workshop because I don't consider myself like an artist. I just have something that I want to share, and when people say yes, bring it on. They say, okay, good. Then now we can do something together. So that's why I feel like it's just part of my passion. I also have another piece exhibit in one of the Mexican restaurants here in town, and they have a big piece that.
What's the name?
The Taqueria Mexicana. That's on the, I think it's 6 or H. Street, and they have a piece that my friend, who is the owner, Laura, she asked me if I can make a piece for her restaurant, and it just came to my mind a picture that I have very clear from Mexico, and I wanted to bring it to her, and I think she likes it.
Yeah, that's why she exhibited in her hotel.
Yes, I think so.
Okay,
It's still there.
So you are so colorful. Overall, a colorful person. So. I know you are performing a lot of festival in this kind of festival city. Like you perform on folk fest, you perform on jazz festival, you perform on like fireworks festival. So on more you perform. So how did you get those chance? Like how, or like when you first performed in Canada on stage as a singer?
Yeah, well, as I say, I moved here in 2012 and then came back to, at the end of the year. So 2013 was my very first full year here in Canada. And I learned about Folk Fest. So a friend of mine says, oh, you should perform at Folk Fest. And then I say, yeah, let's try it. So I had to make an audition. It was kind of interesting because I was probably more than 20 years since my very last audition in Mexico. And then I was asked to have an audition. I was so nervous as the very first time that I was...
Did you audition?
I did an audition.
Oh my God.
I did an audition. I mean, no one knew me, right?
Okay.
So I was new, still in the city. And I don't really, for the very first 2 years probably, when I moved here to Canada, I never talked about my artistic side. I was so focused on being a student, take care of my son. So I never thought. So I say thank you to the music when I left Mexico. I said I'm not gonna be performing never again. I'm done with music. So when I moved here, I never thought that I will have an opportunity. So I never talked about it. But a friend, a close friend, he knew after a few conversations we had, and then he said you should audition. So yes, they have a big audition. So I went there. I was so nervous. I do remember I was shaking and I was trying to repeat to myself, Kiela, you have been in bigger stages. Why you're so nervous? But I was so nervous. I thought that they wouldn't choose me because I didn't have I thought that I didn't have a show ready to offer. Anyways, they believed in me, so they invited me, and since 2013, I haven't stopped performing during Folk Fest. Even during COVID, when we have a virtual version, I was also a performer during the virtual
COVID
version during COVID times. Yes, so I feel very proud about that. And then after I was doing Folk Fest, a musical band invited me to participate with them. And then I started singing with them. And then another band invited me. And now I'm actually guest to like 3 or 4 bands. And they invite me when they have a gig and they want to bring something Latin. So I'm the guest there. So I've been performing also at jazz festival almost continuously since 2015. And I also, last year I had the opportunity to even create my own solo show with a live band, just to have, more, it was called Spanglish, so I was singing in English and Spanish and telling them a little bit about these stories that I'm telling you now. And also I perform in other cultural events, as you already mentioned some, with my mariachi solo show. So I sing traditional Mexican music with my backing tracks because I don't have a mariachi live. But yeah, those are the things that I do, and I think people still like it because they keep inviting me. So until they keep, the day that they don't invite me, maybe is the day that I'm gonna retire because I can sing at home, but I prefer singing on stage. That's something that I wouldn't change for anything.
So I don't know how do I ask you the next question. So your involvement with quite a few other things, as far as I know. You are a very good volunteer. Last year in Folk Fest, you got the best award as a volunteer in Saskatoon Folk Fest.
Yes.
And then you have really good connection with Open Door Society. You are connected with Sask Polytechnic. So how do you manage those things? And then why you become a volunteer? Is that important?
Yes, it
your
is.
Life? Yes, please.
It is in my life, and I hope in the life of many people here. Let's begin with what is volunteering, right? So you put your time and your talents or your experience or your knowledge into, you offer it to the people without asking for anything else, right? Just for you to share. That's something that in Mexico is not very common. Mexico, whatever you do, you get paid, or you get a recognition or something like that. It's not very common. So when I moved here and I started hearing about volunteering, I didn't even understand understand what exactly was that about. So my very first volunteer was actually at the YMCA. I was an aqua fitness instructor so for a very short time. And then I really thought, like, this is something I like, you know. Well, actually, I had volunteers as well at the Fall Fest in the kitchen previously. And I was thinking, like, this is great, you know, because, I don't know, I think volunteering really feeds your soul. For me, it's about that. But being a volunteer also brings a lot of other things that eventually you will realize, eventually you will be seeking, eventually those opportunities will be coming to you. So when I start diversifying my volunteering work, I start finding out also other areas that I'm passionate about, which is community service. I studied, for example, at Saskatoon Open Door Society 6 years ago. So I already completed my only 6-year term, so I finished this year. I'm very sad about it. But you know, and then is when I was trying to put all the things together. So first I was an immigrant seeking for help from an institution, organization like Open Door. So I had all these many needs when I came. And then after these many years, I was at the society, at the organization, at the strategic level, finding out people like me 14 years ago, what they need, what we can offer, what are the opportunities they truly need, because Open Door doesn't only develop like a language program. Yes, we all need to improve our language, why not? But the other programs are developed based on the needs of the community who is arriving to Saskatoon. The true purpose is to make them feel welcome, to make them feel that they belong, to make them feel like they have opportunities to really succeed. So when you find, like, just by my volunteering work, I'm doing all this big impact, and I'm not saying that I did it by myself. We have a big team at Open Door, but just being part of that impact, it really keeps feeding your soul. So I feel for me, it has been more like this is part of myself. Yeah, as I mentioned before, I can do multiple things without even thinking because it's part of my drive. I like that. I volunteer at Fall Fest because I'm passionate about arts and culture. I volunteer in any opportunity I have with my community as well, the Latin American community, because for me it's something that it's part of me. I don't really know how to explain for other people why some other people do volunteering. I know that many people do volunteering because they want to have reference in the future, which I think is very valid. It's good as long as you work well, because sometimes I have had this request sometimes, like people, they say, oh, I just met you today. What about if you give me a letter of recommendation? I say, well, no, we need to really get to know each other. And volunteering is a way to get to know each other. Volunteering, working together, doing this type of work together, then you will know how I work, I will know how you work, and then this volunteering work will lead us to something else. And then yes, it has this extra value that you bring, but to start with, I think it's something, it has to feed your soul, because you're giving your time, you're giving your knowledge. You have to have something back, because to be honest, we always want something back. And volunteering is, for me, feeding your soul. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like, who are the real volunteers? Mm-hmm. They always work for themselves. Mm-hmm. Not they work for the community. They work for the organization or like any other team. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, this is peace of mind. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's a volunteering. I'm also doing a lot of volunteering.
I know. Yeah.
So I enjoy it. You are a mother. You are an artist. You are a volunteer, and then you have started a really good organization. We didn't mention it yet. Could you please tell us about your organization?
Yes. Well, I and another couple friends, we founded the Latino Canadian Cultural Association in 2023. This organization was something that I thought, and I still believe that it was a need here in the city. We have a lot of organizations that supports the Latin American communities for business, for entrepreneurs, and sports and many other things. But for me, that was like we need also an organization that focus on how we can preserve, promote, teach the Latin American cultures. We make it very broad, so I didn't want to do something like a Mexican culture. I wanted to really invite everyone. I wanted to make it something as broad as possible so everyone will feel welcome. And this organization doesn't serve only people born in Latin America. Serves everyone. Everyone. We are a very diverse community here in Saskatoon, and learning from Open Door that everyone has the same curiosity, the same interest of build something, create a piece of art, learn a new language. So I thought, this organization is going to be embracing all of those things. So we will be offering programs or events or whatever opportunity that we can develop to everyone. So everything that we offer is to everyone. We are still a very small organization. We only have 2 years and a half running the organization. Our board of directors is a working board, and you know what is that about. So we have a lot of work, but we've been doing a few things that are really good. We've been the sponsoring organization for the Latino Pavilion for the last 2 years, and this is going to be our 3rd year. We feel very proud about it, and
Folk Fest.
Fall Fest, yeah. So we are the sponsoring organization for Fall Fest, the Latino Pavilion within Fall Fest, and we are right now preparing everything for our participation at Fall Fest.
For you.
Very busy time, crazy time. Days or weeks like this one, for example, and the coming ones. Makes me realize probably I'm doing too much things at the same time. And then it's when I start thinking maybe I should slow down a little bit. But anyways, it's one time a year, so we have to be prepared, and it's a great opportunity to connect with other cultures.
Exactly.
So as you know, at Fall Fest, all these many communities, we connect, we get to know each other, we volunteer together, and now I can call them friends. So when I found them, I found these people on the streets in a different month other than August. I can say, hello, hi, how are you? What are you doing? So it's really awesome to have those opportunities. So yes, I feel very proud about our organization. Still growing, still looking for support, still applying to grants, and hopefully one day we're going to see it like one of those big organizations that we have here in the city, and striving and growing. Mm-hmm.
So we are almost there. So I just want to know, this program name is Diaspora Diary.
Mm-hmm.
So as a mother, as an artist, as a volunteer, as an organizer, what does it mean actually about the diaspora in kind of this environment like the Peruland?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone knows the Saskatchewan is one of the coldest province, and then here, so basically this province is based on immigrant people.
Mm-hmm.
They are doing a lot of things. They are helping government. They are building this province.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think actually from your end, what is diaspora?
Yeah, I am who I am, and I am this person because everything that I bring with me, right?
Yeah.
So as an artist, I perform mostly Latin music because that's with me. That's what I brought with me from Mexico. It's a pleasure to share it. It's a pleasure. I would say don't hide it.
Yeah.
Show yourself. Show who you are. Show what you are bringing with you. So when I do my art, that's what I'm sharing. Not something that I might have learned a few more things here, but basically I'm trying to transfer what I already bring in with me. As a mother, I feel a huge commitment with my son that he needs to keep his identity as Mexican, and he's very Mexican. He's very Mexican. Even though when you hear his accent, he doesn't have accent in English or Spanish. Mm-hmm. It's really interesting because people think that he was born here, and people when he goes to Mexico, no one can believe that he's been living in Canada for this long because he doesn't have any accent, and he's very proud to say I'm Mexican. Mm-hmm. One time he says that he was Aztec.
He likes Mexican head?
Yeah, he likes everything about Mexico. And I feel very proud to have built that in my son, because that's, as a mother,
Yeah.
and everyone that immigrates with little kids, or our kids are born here, I feel like that's a commitment. We should show them our roots, our our culture, because we need to feel proud of it. Regardless of the country you're coming from, you have to be very proud. You need to have, and that pride you have to transfer to your kids. So I feel like it's a huge commitment. I think I'm done with that with my son, because he's already 21 years old, and I think he's already had it very strong, and also the language and everything. And the other parts of my life, what this diaspora is for me is like as you mentioned, I never realized, like even moving from one state in Mexico to another state, I was already having these changes in culture.
Yeah.
And that has been a cumulative of experiences and learnings. And that's what I'm sharing now in my different roles. Mm-hmm. Whether it's community service or if it's within my academic role at SAS Polytechnic, which I'm really currently doing the Equity, Diversity, Inclusion, and Reconciliation Coordinator in applied research. So I feel like if I didn't have all of that, if I was just denying all of that, I wouldn't be me. It wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be doing anything meaningful for me to begin with. So that's, for me, I would say that's what diaspora for me is, like it's being proud of what you already carrying with you. Yeah. The good and the bad, everything helps.
It's like our, everything we're carrying, with our food, with our habit, with our dress, and with even accent. We are not, our English is not like the pure English, but we have different identity. This is the feel proud of us, all of us as immigrant. Yeah. So what is your message for the community, especially in Latino community? Latino community is a big community, several kind of culture and diversity in Latino. So what do you want to say about it?
Yeah, well, I wish I could say I'm going to say something very smart and everyone would keep it with them for the rest of your life. I'm just going to say that for me, what has worked and what I always suggest to people when I interact with a lot of students, international and Canadian students, and I think everyone is looking for the same thing. Everyone wants to be happy, everyone wants to be safe, everyone wants to have secure roof on top and internet, high-speed internet. But I feel like just be true to yourself is what I would say to everyone. Be true to yourself. You are not competing to anyone. You are just here to do the best you can with the tools you have, with the experience you're carrying with you, and just focus on that, and everything is gonna work out. If you start trying to create a new facade because, I moved to Canada, I'm gonna be Canadian, that's gonna fail. That's gonna fail, you're gonna be frustrated. I have seen this so many times, and it doesn't work out. It doesn't stay long. You have to be true to yourself. You need to be honest and proud. I always say, I am made of corn. Mexicans are made of corn. And I have a cover of paper mache, like a brown carton, paper mache, and they cut it with a colorful palette. This is me, and this is what you will see today, tomorrow, and anytime. And that, being honest, being truthful to myself, brings clarity to the other people, builds trust to other people, and then everything goes a little smoother. So that's what I would say to everyone, and for the Latinos that are coming to Canada. I think all of us, we came for similar reasons, looking for a better opportunity, academics or work or for our families. So just enjoy and focus on that, and never forget your roots. Because as you say, even our accent is going to be something that someone is going to be seeking to hire. So yes, be true to yourself, and that's what I would say.
Yeah, so Kiela, so thank you so much. Thank you so much joining with us today in Culture Connect TV. And then it was quite interesting story we heard from Kiela. So as an artist, as a community leader, volunteer, as an like scientist, like lots of things she's doing, we can feel proud for her. And as an immigrant, obviously she's a role model in our community. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching us. See you soon with another guest in Culture Connect TV. Thank you so much.